Good morning. Hello, this is Josh. I want to talk about some TV shows that I streamed. I don't talk about TV very much. I don't watch a lot of TV, and when I do watch TV, I don't binge it, so I'm not fresh. I'm not fresh on any of the things I'm going to talk about today. I really prefer when I do watch TV, it has to be something of great interest, and then I want a serialized experience. I like checking in every week with my show, and that makes it a little frustrating because these seasons of shows now are like 6 or 8 shows, so it doesn't like last very long, but that's okay because something else can usually fill in the slot, and I'm usually like behind on things, so there's a lot available. So this is not fresh. I just figured I finished enough stuff that I have a lot to talk about, and maybe somebody cares. So I watched the Fallout TV series, the Boys season 4, and The Acolyte. Again, none of these are fresh. I'm late on the discourse for all of these things, and I think I'm going to get The Acolyte out of the way first. I should just probably never talk about Star Wars, but I do have feelings about this show, and I'm hesitant to even throw my voice into the conversation because there's like a lot of like, I run the risk. Spoiler alert: I didn't love The Acolyte, but I'm not thrilled about throwing my voice in with the anti-woke crowd or the people who think that representation and weirdness is the problem with Disney. That's not the problem. Representation in Star Wars is cool. Weirdness is cool. Queerness is cool. Whatever things they want to explore in Star Wars is great. My problem is that this show is boring as sin, and the Jedi are boring, and I'm really sick of it. And the High Republic sounded like an opportunity for a whole new type of era of Star Wars, and all we got was the same boring Jedi stuff. They're so stilted and they're so dull, and it should be interesting to say, let's take a critical eye. Maybe the Jedi aren't as altruistic as they say they are. Maybe they're complicated. Maybe they are short-sighted. The problem is the prequels, which I don't love either, already hinted at all this stuff, and they had the same exact problem. The Jedi are boring. They're so boring. And then when you have a Sith character in this show, Manny Jacinto, who's kind of like blown up from it, and he's cool. I liked seeing him in it, and the character is interesting, but he's not that far from Kylo Ren. He's a young, hot, shirtless Sith guy, who's intense and scary, but also just the puppet of like bigger evil characters. So I wanted to like The Acolyte. Again, as I say, I probably just need to find the exit on Star Wars. I'm having trouble remembering what I like about it, and Andor is really good, but it's such an outlier. It's such the quality of Andor only just makes it stand out, and only kind of just shines light on all how everything else is just not working for me. But Andor is an example of how you can make the politics of Star Wars interesting, which we didn't realize was possible. But there's also no Jedi in Andor. I think there is actually a secret Jedi in Andor, right? I think that's what we're building towards. But it'll be less interesting when that person is possibly revealed to be a Jedi. Anyway, so that's there's more to talk about, but I'm late to the party. I just wanted to say, it doesn't really delight me to say that The Acolyte was boring and stupid, but it was. The storytelling was just so... I guess, it's a YA thing. Again, it's not targeted at me, so I should probably just sit it out. But it's positioned as like this new Star Wars era, this new, era of the show in context, and this new era of storytelling about Star Wars. But, sorry, no. Okay, so The Boys season 4. I've been with The Boys from the beginning. I've never read the comics, but there's something about it that, it's crass, and it's like one of these, it's like a shock value, and I feel like, again, a little bit like I might be, shoulder to shoulder with some edgelordy Reddit types in being, but although I guess the show has turned off a lot of those fans by now. What I like about The Boys, or what I find compelling about The Boys, what makes me keep coming back to watch The Boys, is that it really uses first of all, it's aware of just how dopey and stupid superhero tropes are, and it imagines a world where if they were real, they would just be like corporate and militaristic and government pawns. And it is surprisingly good at satirizing this moment in America in a way that's very upsetting. It's very unpleasant, The Boys. Homelander is an extremely loathsome villain, not because he's so powerful and he can do things and he can threaten our heroes, but because he's just like the real life villains we know if they had those powers. And he's on, like he's on like a Fox News type, a Newsmax type of a channel, telling people to like report un-American. It's so stupid if you think about it, but there's something compelling about the way it comes together and the way that it just gleefully, it's kind of like Invincible in that way. I'm a fan of the Invincible comics. I'm not completely caught up on the show, but it's kind of that, like, what if we had a superhero story and we didn't like flinch on the blood and the violence, but then it adds in all the culture war stuff also. And I don't know. I'm a fan of The Boys. I don't know why. It should be too much. It should turn me off, but it doesn't. I like The Boys. And I know people, there was a lot of memes about how season 4 jumped the shark or Starlight this or that. And to me, it's always been ridiculous. But I'm still interested. I don't know how, like, I guess it is a show where I really do need resolution. I really do just need to see Homelander destroyed, and then I'll be fine. Like, I'm that like invested in what happens with those characters from that standpoint, and that's really stupid. I don't usually get that way about shows. I'm usually very cerebral and analytical, but with The Boys, I just watch it to see, like, all right, are they gonna what's gonna happen this week? So I don't know. That's The Boys season 4. I guess unpopular opinion, but I liked it. And then the Fallout show is I mean, I have a very typical, I guess, opinion on this, in that I thought it was really remarkable. I know nothing about Fallout, and it's interesting to, inevitably, we got to talk about Borderlands in contrast, the Borderlands movie and the abysmal failure it was. I've played a little bit of the Borderlands games, didn't find what I enjoyed about those games anywhere in that movie. I have not played Fallout, but the show is so excellent. And I know that's just a very kind of basic opinion at this point, but it is. This is Jonathan Nolan, and so it's I like the degree to which the material was taken seriously, but then also it allows itself to be kind of like The Boys. It's not afraid to just be intense and ridiculous and over the top, but it's so well thought out in a time when a lot of entertainment does not feel well planned. Looking at you, Disney and Marvel, Star Wars and Disney and Marvel, but this, Fallout just feels like wisely conceived and planned, and it's so well done and well cast. And you've got like your big hitters, like your Kyle MacLachlan and your Walton Goggins, but then you've got a lot of comedy people too. I always love that, to see comedy people as character actors. You've got John Daly and Johnny Pemberton and Zach Cherry and interesting people who show up. Matt Berry a couple of times. That was fun. So that's really, I don't have anything insightful or clever to say other than I just like what Fallout is doing. And I hope there's the elements of that show are held together in such a way that there was such a so deftly in season 1, but it is the kind of universe that if they just slip a little bit, or if one of the creative leads like has to leave the show or something, it could fall apart very quickly, and that show could just become a parody of itself, and it could fall apart. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they're very cautious, and even if we have to wait a few years for another series, if they're going to do another one, I hope that they continue at this pace. I guess, is that it? Those are the shows that I wanted to talk about. I have some other things to talk about. I have a riff to write, and I'll be talking to you very soon. I saw Alien Romulus last night. That's going to be my next review, so look for that very soon. Maybe it came out before this video. I don't know how it's going to go, but I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate you going on this journey with me and sticking with me as I ramble about things and what I think of them. And I don't know, I'm very grateful. I think I'm going to make another little Patreon only video where I'm going to get slightly personal, and just ultimately that's just going to be a thank you, but I also just have some things I have to express. So that's enough rambling. I'll see you again very soon. Josh out.